Are you stuck without a gym? Maybe you're traveling and don't have weights handy, but you still want to get a solid lower body workout. I've got your back. I'm going to show you a follow along session that you can do with me now to work on your lower body strength and mobility without having weights. So all you need is a block, and I've got a chair or a bench and a little bit of space. You can do this even in the tiniest of hotel rooms. So I hope this workout makes you realize that you can still work really hard even if you don't have access to weights. For our warm-up, we are going to need a block or a book, something to a step will work, slightly elevate the ground. We're going to start with some rises. So you're going to put the ball of the foot onto the block, and you can have something to hold on to, whether that's a stick or a little bit of a wall. That's perfect. From here, standing up nice and tall, you're going to drop the heels down below the block and then rise up to really pressing the big toe into the ground, and then lower and rise, lower and rise. Now, if this feels really doable for you, I challenge yourself, since we don't have weights, to do more single leg work. So we're going to do a single leg. So 1 foot on, 10 each side. When you're ready, either stick with the double or join me for the single. 10, 9, 8, 7. You should feel your glutes supporting you here. 6, really trying to push into the big toe. 5, as high as you can. 4, 3, looking straight ahead, 2, and 1. Other side, so ball the foot on here. We drop the heel down and rise up. So full range here, drop and rise. That's 2, 3, going to go straight up like an elevator this way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you've got it, 9, and 10. Awesome work. We're going to do a little bit of knee work next. So still you're going to need a step or a block. Doesn't have to be very high. I'm going to put 1 foot on it. This is a Peterson Step Up. So from here, I'm going to keep this leg straight, just bend the standing leg until this heel taps the ground and comes back up. So if I show you forward, I'm standing here, balance, bending this knee until this taps. So I'm not actually pushing this leg down. It's all happening from the standing leg. 10, 9, the knee's tracking over the toe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Should feel at sort of the top of the knee here. When we have no weights, it's a good chance for us to do some single leg conditioning work. This is a great knee strengthener here. 3, 4, chest stays up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome work. Okay, don't need the block anymore. We're still in our warm up, a knees over toes split squat. So I have 1 foot forward and I take a really big step, heel elevated with that back leg. My hips are square here. Now I keep my chest up, the knee is going to track over my toe and I'm coming as low as I can here, almost trying to get this heel to touch close to my butt, and then I press away. Just 6 of these. 2, hips stay square. 3, so at the same time as I'm strengthening here, I'm opening up this hip. 4, 5, and 6. Switch legs, and if I find this too hard, you don't have to go as far. You can also elevate the leg here and do it on a bench, so this version here. So there's a few options, but we're going to keep this flowing. Knee tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, knee tracks forward. 5, last one, and 6. Awesome work. We're going to go to the ground now for this next warm up, and we're going to be in a figure 4. So I've got my left leg in front and my right leg behind, my chest stays up. Now from here, and you can use fingertips if you need to, but otherwise we're going to shift forward, engage our glutes and press up. So while we're working and strengthening our hips here, we've got one leg in external rotation and one leg in internal rotation. 3, 4, 5, chest stays upright, and 6. We're going to switch to the other side so I can go through. I can just swap this leg in front, this leg behind, chest up, straight up. 6, 5. Such a good exercise for our hip mobility. We're also strengthening here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that is our warm-up. So what I suggest is you go through that warm-up about 3 rounds. So go back to your risers, 3 rounds, and then you're gonna, so you can pause this now and do that, or you can move on to our main set. So the first exercise for our main set is called a thigh stretch. It's a stretch, but it's also a strengthening exercise. So we're going to be kneeling here. Now, if you have a book or block handy, you need a bit more core support. You can squeeze it between the thighs here. And what you want to do, you don't have to, just for that core support there, is you want to tuck under. So I need to squeeze my bottom, tuck under here. We want one long line from the knee to the crown of the head. So I'm tucking under, squeezing my bottom. Now I'm going to go back, maintaining my core support here as far as I can, then drive it back up. All right, so ribs are low, down, squeezing my bottom, I'm driving it back as far as I can, and then come back up. It's your choice here whether your toes are tucked, untucked. Do what's comfortable for you. 1, and up. 2, and up. Keep squeezing your bottom and driving it up. 3, 4, 5. Now you can do somewhere in the reps between 6 and 8. 6. We'll do 2 more. 7. Last one here. And 8. Okay. Then next we have a single leg squat. We're going to do this with a bench. So if you've got a chair or a bench handy, there's a few ways to do it depending on your level. If doing a single leg squat is too much right now, on the other leg you can just have the toe on. So I just elevate the heel on one side, whichever leg I'm doing, hands forward, I shift, but most of my weight, looks like this, is going through this leg. Otherwise we have one leg off, there's a shift, I press through that leg, and I stand up, shift the hips back, and I come back down. All right, you ready to join me? Find your bench. Obviously, the lower the bench as well, the more range and strength it required. So you choose. All right, I shift, I press into that leg, drive it up. 1, shift, 2, and you want to get full standing on that leg. 3, and down. 4, up and down. 5, up, down. 6. Again, you can do somewhere 6 to 8 reps. If you've got 2 more in you. 7, up and down. Last one here. 8, up and down. And then we shift sides. So now the leg I get set up either on the tippy toe of that other leg or leg off. Shift. 1 and down. You can have that leg straight or you can have it bent. 3 and back. 4 and down. 5, 6. If you can get them 2 more reps in. 7. Last one. And 8. Awesome. Okay, there's your single leg squat. Our third exercise in our main set is going to be a switch lunge. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of options for this that you can do without needing weights and still challenging. First, you can do a lunge where we just step back. So here, one leg steps back in its same lane. We drop, knee can just hover here, and we come back up. Here, and come back up. If you want to make the lunge more challenging, you can come down. You can even go all the way to your knees and step up. All the way to your knees and step up. Working on getting up and down off the floor, especially when we don't have access to weights, is a great functional exercise to do. If you want to make it more dynamic, we're going to be doing jump lunge. So one foot steps back to here, we lunge, come down, press through the legs and come down, switch to the other side. Reason I love this, the pounding of the joints here is so good for our bone density, and we're also building muscle too. So when you're ready, step back, bend the knees, switch. 1, 2, keep the chest up, core on to support you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Woo! And I like that because it also obviously gets the heart rate going a little bit. So that would be one round of your main set. So you want to aim to do at least 4 rounds, maybe even 5. So pause this video and you'll go back to the first exercise of the main set. Okay, so we're going to move on and go into the prehab work. Really important to make sure we do a bit of conditioning to finish. So ideally you want to do around 3 to 5 rounds of your main set, depending on how much time you have. So you'll go back to your thigh stretch, repeat those rounds until you reach your 3 to 5, depending on what you're aiming for. It's really important we save some time for conditioning and stretching. That's how we're going to finish this session. So we've got some hip work to start with. Now for the hip, you might want to do this from the ground with the foot here. You might want to have the foot elevated on a little step, or maybe it's the chair. From here, we're going to press up. So we're going to actually really work this hip flexor. Makes it, just because we don't have weight doesn't mean it's not challenging here. So body straight, we want to keep this lower back in neutral. This leg is straight and we go lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So we want to aim for that top half. 2, hold, a little bit. 3, 2, 1, lower. And we switch. So we want to aim for the rest of the body to stay really elongated and tall. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. We're going to do our sides now. So I'm going to stand here. You can either, again, do it from the ground or maybe something elevated. Now for our side, you can shift a little bit with your torso. Main thing is that we lift this straight leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Working on our end range here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'll just face you, otherwise I would switch to the other side. But to face you, I'll go this side. Pretend I've got a bench there. Let's go top half. 10, 9, 8, toes pointing forward. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Of course, you can do that little hold at the end and then lower. Now for a back, leg back, you can again have the leg from the ground or maybe it's the bench, hip square, and you can have the standing leg a little bit bent here, but you want the back leg as straight as possible. If you need to hold on to something, you can do that. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try and keep the hips square to the ground. 8, 9, hold. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Hips square to the ground. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Yes, and come down. Now, of course, I suggest you go 1 or 2 more times of your conditioning work, and then finishing with really any stretches that you feel like you need to finish that session with. I really like a couch stretch, which is where you might need to put something underneath your knee, this up against a chair or a couch, other leg up, and then we just come into a lunge here, trying to get this heel as close to your bottom as you can, tucking under, chest up, maybe lunging forward if you want to explore a bit more. And you can just hold this here about 30 to 60 seconds, breathing, opening up your hip here. Chest nice and open and tall, the spine. Always good to finish with some stretches no matter what kind of workout you do, just to bring your mind back into your body, slow down your breathing, slow down your nervous system. Really important, especially after strength work, which can be quite stimulating. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then we switch sides. Knee on the ground, other leg forward. You have a wall nearby for a bit of extra support. Try and get that bottom close to your heel, tucking under in that tailbone, lifting through the front. You can always play with shifting forward or back. And again, just really focusing on your breath here. Trying to slow things down. So hopefully with this circuit, you should realize that you can still work really hard. You don't have to make the excuse to do nothing if you don't have weights handy. It's an excellent opportunity to work on, especially some single leg strengthening work, and also just conditioning in your joints. Just with simply, we used a block and a chair. So simple. We really don't need much. You can come out of that one. Again, spending a few more minutes, maybe stretching out your glutes or any areas that you need. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you tried this circuit, if you're gonna take it with you next time you travel, or you just are in a point where at a time where you don't have access to weights. I hope you give this session a go. All right, let me know how it was in the comments below. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel so you get updated when we release new content and workouts and tips, and we thank you for your support.